Hello students, today we will start the next part of strategies for enhancement in food production, and today we will study the plant breeding. In the previous part you have studied animal breeding, different processes, and the farm dairy management, pisciculture and apiculture. So today we will start with the plant breeding. So what is the syllabus? Let we see in the plant breeding a brief reference to green revolution, steps in the plant breeding, all these steps we are going to study in detail, and advantages of the mutation breeding, examples of some Indian hybrid crops like all these wheat, rice, maize, sugarcane and millet, and definition of heterosis and inbreeding depression. So what is green revolution? The term green revolution refers to the very substantial yield increase obtained by plant breeders resulting from the development of new crop varieties under intensive program of fertilizers, water and pesticide management. So green revolution, it is the part to increase the yield there from the crop. And how it is done? By developing the new crop varieties under intensive program of fertilizers, means the type of fertilizer, when and how to use, water and the pesticide management. So by using all these techniques to increase the yield. Now, green revolution technologies spread worldwide in the 1950s and 1960s, significantly increasing the amount of calories produced per acre of agriculture. And the beginning of the green revolution are often attributed to the scientist Norman E. Borlaug. He was an American scientist honored with Nobel Prize for his work in the Green Revolution, saving millions of lives from famine in India, Mexico and the Middle East. In 1963, several varieties of wheat such as Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, which were high yielding and disease resistant, were introduced all over the wheat growing belt of India. Then the rice variety IR8 and this Taichung native one, they were introduced in 1966. Better yield Jaya and Ratna, they were developed in India. So all these were the part of Green Revolution. Now, as we know that the Green Revolution was dependent to a large extent on the plant breeding techniques for development of high yielding and disease resistant varieties in wheat, rice and maize. So we'll study the plant breeding because it was the main part of the Green Revolution. Due to this plant breeding, scientists were able to develop the high yielding and disease resistant variety of all these crop plants. So what is plant breeding? The method of improvement of plant varieties and generation of improved varieties using practices like selection and hybridization. This is known as the plant breeding. So here the plant variety is improved in plant breeding and improved varieties are produced. How? By the practices like selecting the best one and by the process of hybridization, making the hybrids. So this process hybridization we will study in detail in the next part of the lecture. So understood the plant breeding? Now steps involved in the plant breeding. So the main steps in the breeding new genetic variety of crop are collection of variability. So collection of variability, as you know students, you have studied about the variations. Variations are the differences among the individuals of a population or a species for a given character. And these variations may arise due to the genetic and the environmental factors. Now here the if we consider the heights of the different students in a class, we find variations. Some students are taller while some others are shorter in height. So a part of this variation arises due to the genetic reason, differences in the genotype of the students, because all the students, they do not have same height, and this part of variation is called the genetic variation, which is passed on from parents to their progeny, means that is inheritable. So this collection of variability means what here? The entire collection of all seeds and plants which have desirable genetic variability or genes or alleles. This is known as the germ plasm collection also. So collection and preservation of all the different wild varieties, species and relative of the cultivated species. However, sometimes desirable characters are not available naturally. Then under such condition, we artificially try to create such variation, and that is due to mutation. We will study in the next part of this topic. Then the second step, evaluation and the selection of the parents. When plants with genetic variations, they are obtained, they are selected for the desirable characters. So this involves identification of the plant which have desirable combinations of the character, that is, which can give better results on hybridization. So evaluation is done to identify plant with desirable characters. The selected plants are multiplied and used in the process of hybridization. Now cross hybridization among the selected plant. Now the parent plant are selected. Now cross hybridization. So by cross hybridizing the two parents to obtain hybrids that genetically combine the desired characters in one plant. So here we will study the process of hybridization. So what are the steps involved in the plant breeding in hybridization? This process we will here see. So steps in the that plant breeding, we are studying the mechanism of hybridization. Here the individual which are used in hybridization, they are known as the parent. So here the choice of the parent is critical for the success of a breeding program, and it is done with the utmost care. Just now I explained you first the that variety it is selected, means selection of the parents, and they are evaluated too. So one of the two parent is used as the female and as the male. Before the flowers of the female parent mature, here one more important thing, before the flowers of the female parent mature, the stamens from the flower of the male parent are carefully removed, so to prevent the self fertilization. So here what we will do here, emasculation means what is there? Removal of the stamens from the flowers. Okay, so before the flowers of the female parent mature, the stamens from the flowers of the male parent, they are removed. This process is known as the emasculation. After the emasculation, now what happens? This will be the female flower only. Now this is the male flower. Now pollen is collected from the flower of the male parent and placed on the stigma of the female flower. So pollen is collected from the flowers of male parent and placed on the stigma of these flowers to execute the process further. So transfer of pollen to the female part. Now here this is emasculated plant. Fine. Now these pollens are placed on the female flower, stigma of the female flower. Now the reproductive mechanism means pollination will be there, then the fertilization will be there, and the seeds which will be produced, they are the F1 hybrids or F1 seeds. Okay, later on this generations obtained from these F1 seeds would exhibit the phenomenon like segregation, recombination, independent assortments and gene that interaction. This you have studied in Mendel's, all the Mendel's experiments and its laws. Now amount further we will get the F2 and F3 hybrids containing the desirable characters. So amount and the kind of genetic variation produced depend upon the genetic differences present between the parents and the hybrids. Okay, parents used in the hybridization. So this is the mechanism of hybridization. Now here the two important processes I will discuss with you. This is the emasculation. What is emasculation, which is the third step? The various equipments are used for the emasculation process. You can see here by the method of forceps method it is there. So the process of removal of the stamens from the female parent before they have burst and shed their pollen. This is known as the emasculation. The main purpose of emasculation to prevent the self-fertilization, and that is why stamens are removed before the anthers ripe, dehisce and self-pollinate the stigma. So young flower buds which are yet to open are selected for the emasculation, and some common methods are like by the help of forceps, okay, forceps or scissor method, simplest method generally used for those plants which have the large flowers. Some other methods are hot or cold water, and alcohol method is also there, by dipping the panicles in hot water at a desired temperature for a definite period, or cold water or alcohol are used in this emasculation process. Male sterility method in some plants like bajra and onion, it is done by the this emasculation operation is eliminated by the use of the male sterile plants which have sterile anthers and do not produce any viable pollens. Now the next method we will see here, the bagging. In this bagging, male and female flowers, they are bagged separately, so that to prevent the contamination in staminate flowers and cross pollination in the pistillate flowers. So the bags which are used are usually made up of paper, cloth, plastic or the cellophane paper, and the size of the bag, this depends upon the size of the flower where it is used. And this bagging is usually done in the evening of the previous day of crossing, since most of the crop they become receptive in the morning, and these bags are kept on the female flowers till the seed setting. So these two that processes are very important. After this, the crossing is done. Crossing is the artificial cross pollination between genetically unlike plant. Then raising of the F1 generations, as I explained to you, and then after further we will get the F2 and F3 hybrid, and at last we will get the progeny of that plant with the desired characters. So further selection and the testing of the superior recombinant. Now the selection process is crucial to the success of the breeding objective and requires careful scientific evaluation of the progeny. As we are getting F1, F2, F3 progeny, now their selection and testing is done. Are they superior recombinants or not? So these are self-pollinated for several generations till they reach a state of uniformity. तो जब तक ये self pollination करवाया जाता है आगे generations में F1, F2, F3 and further till we'll get the uniform population, okay, so that the characters will not segregate in the progeny. Now here as I explained you, homozygosity, the progeny of the selected individual is grown further and again screened for the desired features, and this process is repeated again and again till the uniform plant population is obtained which has the best desired characters. Eventually a desired uniform crop variety is produced by this successive selection followed by the multiplication of the selected individuals. So understood? Now the next process is the testing, release and commercialization of the new cultivars. अब जब हमें वो variety मिल जाती with the desired characteristics, further again it is evaluated. So this evaluation is done by growing these plants in the research fields. Now these plants, they are grown in the research fields and recording their performance under ideal fertilizer application, irrigation and other crop management practices. So a new variety developed by hybridization and selection is certainly advanced in character. It is however recognized as an improved variety on the basis of evaluation by an expert committee of the region, popularly known as Variety Release Committee. So in India, ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, New Delhi, it carries out this work. So this testing is done first to see the performance of this crop under all these conditions. Now it will be followed by testing the materials in the farmer fields also. Okay, so because of the that different types of soils and different types of environment is there, so it is followed by the testing the material in farmers field, and for at least 3 growing at several locations in the country. So India is divided into 2 or more agroclimatic zones on the basis of soil and climatic condition. So ICAR evaluates the materials developed by many breeders together at several locations in different agro क्लाइमेटिक जोन. सो अलग अलग जोन्स में फिर इन क्रॉप्स को ग्रो किया जाता है, एंड देन आफ्टर फर्दर after each evaluation the characters and the performance of the new material is compared with that of existing variety, and a new material is found superior to the existing varieties as well as to other new materials, it may be released as a new variety. तो उसके बाद अब ये रिलीज़ किया जाता है. अब रिलीजिंग प्रोसेस में क्या होगा, the breeder of this material makes a proposal for its release, which is considered by the Variety Release Committee ICAR in India, and if the proposal is accepted, the material is given a name and released as a variety, new variety की तरह उसको release किया जाता है, and government keeps a record of all release. And the last step is the commercialization. What is done in commercialization? That is the distribution of the seeds to the farmers in the last step, and the seeds of the new variety are multiplied and obtained in large number, and then they are certified by NSC, National Seed Corporation, and then they are distributed to farmers, because the benefits from the improved variety can be realized only when the farmers grow it commercially. So understood? Testing, release and commercialization. So now we will see the advantages of mutation breeding. So what is mutation breeding? First we'll understand. So mutation breeding is the creation of mutation at will and their utilization for production of new crop variety. So you know that process of the mutation, sudden change in the genetic material. Now this mutation is induced with the help of chemicals, and this mutation is done for getting the crop with the desired features. So creation of the mutation at will, so we are doing this is induced mutation, and this is utilized for the production of new crop variety. This is known as the mutation breeding. So it is done in the plant at a large scale. What are the advantages of the mutation breeding? So artificial mutations induce sufficient variability in the plants to induce improved variety. So this is also done to introduce variability. Mutation breeding takes less time than the conventional breeding method, because it is done chemically in the lab. Conventional breeding method takes time. It needs minimum land and labor to produce improved variety. Mutation breeding can be adopted for self-pollinated, cross-pollinated and vegetatively propagated crops, means it can be adopted for the all type of crops. Improve that morphological, physiological characters, disease resistance and quantitative characters, including yielding ability. So these all are the advantages of mutation breeding. Now the two definitions, heterosis and inbreeding depression. So what is heterosis? Hybrid raised from an interspecific cross. What is the meaning of interspecific cross? The cross between two plants of different species. So इससे जो hybrid मिलेगा, it is usually superior to both of its parents. So when the cross is done between two plants of different species, then the hybrid which is obtained, it is superior to both of its parents. So contains the better of the two parental germ plasm. This is known as the heterosis. It is also called as hybrid vigor. Okay. Inbreeding depression, I explained you already. The cross between the individuals of the same or related species is known as the inbreeding, and the offspring raised from such inbreeding crosses, they are inferior in qualities. So continuous inbreeding produces the progeny of that means low quality, inferior in quality, and this is known as the inbreeding depression. This inbreeding depression I explained you in the animal breeding also. Now some of the Indian hybrid crops we will see: wheat and rice, as I explained you already, 1963 Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. These are the high yielding varieties and disease resistant, introduced all over the world and the wheat growing belt of India. Then the semi dwarf rice varieties or derived from IR8 and Daichung native one were introduced in 1966. Then later better yielding semi dwarf varieties that Jaya and Ratna, they were developed in India. Then in the sugarcane, Secarum barberi and Secarum officinarum were crossed to get the desirable qualities of the high yield, then thick stem, high sugar, and ability to grow in the sugarcane areas of the North India. Then disease resistant varieties like wheat, its variety Himgiri, resistant to all these disease, leaf and stripe rust. Brassica is the crop, its variety Pusa Swarnim, and it is resistant to the white rust. Cauliflower, Pusa Shubhra, Pusa Snowball, and K1, they are the varieties of cauliflower resistant to all these diseases. Cowpea, its variety Pusa Komal, resistant to bacterial blight. Chili crop, its variety Pusa Sadabahar, and it is resistant to all these that diseases. So these are some disease resistant varieties obtained by the plant breeding method. So students, today we have completed the plant breeding, the process or the steps involved in the plant breeding and the mechanism of hybridization. So study it from the book also and ask your doubts.